Hello, I'm Kelly and welcome to my Flosstube channel, Animal Instinct. It's Saturday the 5th of November 2022 and I'm back with another monthly cross-stitching update today. Thanks so much for stopping by and spending some time with me. I hope you're doing well and getting plenty of stitching in. I've got lots to go through today, but before I start on the stitching, I just want to thank everyone who commented on the last video and for the giveaway winners who got in touch with me. All of the charts are winging their way around the world, so hopefully they'll be with you soon. I've got one that's staying in Australia, and then there was one going to the US, Canada and England. So that's really fun, and I hope they get there soon. On that, I think it was earlier this year, I saw Mad Morty ask her viewers where they were watching from, and I thought that was such a great idea. So I'm curious. If you're willing to, pop a comment below and let me know where you're watching in the world today. I'd love to know. If you don't know Mad Morty, she has a Flosstube channel with her husband David and they film videos together. They're great fun, very funny, and they stitch really interesting projects. They're located in England. If you're not familiar with their channel, I'll pop a link to it in the description box below, and I'll pop a link to anyone I mentioned today down there too. But I thought it was a great idea, so I thought I'd borrow it too. So yeah, I'd love to know where you're watching from today. Okay, lots and lots of stitching here. Let's start with a couple of finishes. So, first of all, John Clayton Collection Cricket Scene. It's a Heritage Stitchcraft pattern. I will pop a photo in of where I was last time I worked on it, which was back in February. This is a project that my mum bought, or she bought the chart, not entirely sure when, and she started it a long time ago. We rediscovered it and I said I'd finish it for her, and then I didn't really love the fabric. It was just a bit old and tatty. Got it here, hang on, just pull it out. And the needle is still rusted into the linen. Not in the stitching area, but I just decided to restart it. So this is the old start. There's nothing wrong with the stitching. That's the old start. And I have finished it. So it's on 32 count antique white linen. I really wanted to be done with it, if I'm completely honest. It's a really old pattern. It wasn't something that always called to me, but it was my dad's birthday in October, so I thought, well, maybe I can get it done. And I did. So my mum either bought it in the 90s or in 2000 when she and my dad went to England, either for a holiday or for a cricket trip, I'm not really sure. So what I do want to do is just at the bottom, is just pop my mum's initials and my initials, because we both worked on this together. And then I was going to put the year it was started and the year it was finished, because we don't really know when it was started. I'm just going to put C 2000, like circa 2000. So that's the only little bit I need to pop in here, and then I'd like to frame it and gift it to them. So my dad used to be a professional cricket umpire, and I made one little change to the umpire in this scene. I gave him black trousers. I think in the chart he was supposed to have grey trousers, but when I think of Dad and umpiring, he had black trousers, a white shirt, and if he was umpiring somewhere cold like England, which is where this one is, he would have a white jacket on like that. And he had to get rid of his, he got new uniforms every season when they had new sponsors. And I always got the hand-me-down jackets because they were perfect for lab coats for uni. So right through vet school, whenever I needed a lab coat, I had an old cricket umpire's jacket on. I thought about it too late, but I would have liked to have given him a hat because he also wore a quite distinctive hat as well, but yeah, it was too late. But that is how he stood. He stood with his hands in front of his body. So yeah, I like to think of that as maybe Dad. But yeah, they were pretty chuffed to see that. I'm so happy that it's done. So I need to pop the initials and the dates on and then get it framed for them. So that's the first finish. I had another one. So I then pulled out my Hygge Stories from NewLeafCraft. So it's a series of 12 blocks, one per month. And I started this for my birthday actually last year. It was a 40th birthday start. And I got the first block done last year and then no more. And I sort of challenged myself to finishing all 12 of the blocks this year. So I had 2 left. Which one was this? I think this is April. I think that was my second to last one. A very cute little birdhouse with a nest, and there's the bird bringing some twigs along. So they're tiny little pieces, under 40 by 40 stitches each, but packed full of detail. And I enjoyed stitching that so much, so I just carried on and went and did the May block, which was my 12th block and final block. So you've got the rabbit sitting there in the watering can, you've got some carrots, some seedlings in this box, a little spade, and it's just, yeah, it's really, really neat. So this is stitched on, I always falter on this, 28 count Brittney lugana in Aether by Chromatic Alchemy. So all 12 are done. So they're not going to stay on this one piece of fabric. I'm going to finish them into 2 cubes. I'm not sure if I'll get that done this year. We'll see. I don't know if I've got a favourite block. Just having a look. Got a favourite? No. But I did like doing the extra bits. So for this one, lots of French knots, lots of back stitch. This one we made a macrame pot holder with beads and thread. And the other one that's got something a little bit quirky is this one, where there's a net that's snagged on the wooden post, and you made that net and you anchored it onto the fabric. I do like that one. So yay! So those 2 finishes. So I had like 17 focus pieces this year. That's too many. You can't possibly focus on 17 different pieces, especially fairly big ones. But that's actually 7 of the 17 completely finished. So I'm thrilled with that. That's great. Can't be unhappy with that progress. I'm definitely going to do something similar next year. So they were my finishes. Then I'll go on to works in progress. So I'll start with the stitch alongs that I've been doing for most of the year, or part of the year, that I show each month. And then I've got some other works in progress. Then I have a whole pile of starts. Right, so number 1, let's have a look at Under the Sea by Durene Jones, available through Lakeside Needlecraft. And I joined Emma X Stitching and Witchy Stitchers, who started this at the start of the year. And the aim was to try and do one of the big motifs each month. So October was the diver or snorkeler. What is he? Diver. I think he's got a tank on his back. And then there's the treasure chest too. So I'm not worrying about all the, it's not a great photo, but you can kind of see there's like seaweed and there's like fish scattered everywhere. There's quite a lot of detail on the bottom as well. Not worrying about any of that at the moment. This is October's vlog. I was just going to do the diver, but then Joe pointed out that if we did the treasure chest, it takes us over to the November blocks nicely. So there's, you know, counting will be easier when I get to the next one. So he will look better backstitched, but yeah, that was really fun. I really enjoy working on this piece. This is on 32 count opal Murano in Caribbean Seas by Jodyri Designs. It was a limited edition. I'm pretty sure it was a fabric of the month quite a few years ago. And this is where the whole thing's up to. So only 2 big motifs to go and then all the extra bits and bobs. So this will definitely carry on into next year. And it's in my under the sea bag that I made. This is one of the first bags I made. So that's coming along really well. And the next one is brain fade there. Supernatural, Stitch Along by the Witchy Stitcher. I think last time I was behind, and I'm still behind, but I think I've made up a little bit of ground. That's fine. Oh, hang on a second. So this is where the whole thing's up to. I think I know where I was last video. Quite remember. According to my notes, I stitched the gnome in October. I love the little toadstools, very cute. And then the vampire. And then I've jumped across, I think the next ones came out that are down here, but I jumped across and did the ogre. And I think I'll probably, the next one's come out and it is a unicorn, that's right. The unicorn is in here. I'll probably do that next. And then I'll have the 4 bottom ones to go. So 2 of them have been released and then there's still 2 to come. But what I'll do is as I do each, I've got magnets sticking all over the place. Sorry, hang on a second. As I do each creature, I'll make sure the bottom border is done at the same time. So we'll get that done as I go. I won't leave it till the end. But I am enjoying this. I'm just behind and yeah, that's no problem though. Did I say the fabric? Can't remember. 32 count Belfast linen in Cocoa Dust by No. 12 Stitch Co. Next, I've got a few other works in progress. So I think when I finished Cricket, I worked on that solidly for a couple of weeks. And I think when I finished it, I was just a bit lost and I haven't quite found my focus since then still. So I've been jumping all over the place. So let's have a look at some other stitching I've done this month. Firstly, we have Pilgrim by Long Dog Sampler. Just really felt an urge to work on this. I hadn't touched it since February this year, but yeah, really wanted to work on it. I'll pop a photo in of where I was. I think I was about just over a third, like maybe 34% done at the end of February, and I had completed the first row of pages. Now it's taken me 4 years to do that. Do 4 pages. I don't want this sitting around for that long because I've still got 2 more rows of pages. I don't want to be working on this for another 8 years. Anyway, so this is where it's at now. It's on 36 count platinum linen, stitching 1/2 using SILS4U PR011. It's this beautiful dark teal. Let's have a closer look at what I've done. So I've worked on this for 5 days, and in 5 stitching sessions, I've done about 4,500 stitches, and I've done over half a page. So there's no reason why this needs to still be, you know, an active project in 8 years. It needs to be done before that. So I've done everything below, like this creature down is what I've done in about 5 days worth of stitching. It's a really dense stitchy page that I'm working on. I think it finishes about here. Yeah, I think it's about there. So, you know, I'm almost done with that page, and it's, you know, 5 days. I've just pulled it off the Q-snap just before I started filming, and it'll go back on, and I think I'm just going to carry on. I've left some silk on there. It's good to go. But it's looking amazing. Yeah, it's looking great. I'm looking forward to, so this is, as I said, quite dense. And you need to concentrate because of the patterns. But I'm looking forward to getting back to some more creatures. So maybe it'll be a bit further along again in another month, we'll see. Unless I have, you know, jumped to something else, which is quite possible too. Right, then I pulled out this one. Oh, I've got the itchy nose today, although it's definitely spring here. You can see the sun shining. It's definitely hay fever weather. So that's probably part of it. Pulled out Tempest. This is Gecko Rouge kit by artwork by Leilani Joy. And I went looking for a bit of information about this piece online, and I found that she has quite a big YouTube channel. And I found her she did a time lapse of her putting this artwork together, like creating the artwork originally, which was quite good to see. And through that I found out that she is a mermaid, which I love. Now, this was my start on this piece. So 25 count, 1/1 pull crosses, that was my start. And I think I mentioned this previously. I was having a chat with a friend about, you know, just the amount of things you want to get done. How on earth we have time to do everything we want to do? And she suggested maybe finding a fabric similar to the background colour and then not needing to stitch that, which I did. And I feel like I showed the fabric that I got. If I haven't, it's here. So I found this. I wanted to stick with 25 count lugana, so I was a little bit limited in options, but pretty happy with this. If I hold it up, you know, like it's pretty close. It's called Alaskan Blue by Wichelt. And I just wanted to double check that the skin, because she's got very fair skin, wasn't going to show through, like the blue wasn't going to show through too much through the skin. So I've put about 800 stitches in just skin. Looks a bit strange, but that is my new start, and I'm fine with that. That's going to look great. I think the skin carries on down here, and her eyes in here with her eye makeup, weeping. Yep. So I'm a-okay with that, and I'm going to carry on this blue fabric. So yeah, I think I just did one session, about 800 stitches. And then another existing project that I pulled out and worked on for, I don't know, one day, I think. Like I said, I was really, just couldn't concentrate on anything in particular. This is another Gecko Rouge kit. It's Warrior Woman by Medusa Dollmaker. Love this piece so much. This was my birthday start this year, and I'd only done, I think, a couple of days before I pulled it out this month. And I'm still on the top left page. I've got long, you know, I've barely done any really. But that is where I'm up to. So it's also 1/1 full cross on 25 count lugana. I don't know how many stitches I've done, sorry, didn't write that down. Don't have it to hand anyway. Towards the bottom of the page that I'm on, her hair starts to come into it, so that'll be nice. Like I said, I love this one, and I want to take this one into 2023 and yeah, really make a good dent in it next year. All right, so they're all of the projects I was working on that had already been started before October. Actually, I was just gonna check how many starts I'd had up until the end of September this year, which for me wasn't many. I'd had 6 new starts between January and end of September. 6 new starts. I've now had 6 more. 6 more. Oops. No regrets. It's been loads of fun. Let's start with the Stitch along. So I think I mentioned I was going to do that last time. I haven't been able to commit to the group as much as I really wanted to, and I have in past years. It's just been, yeah, one of those months. But I have been keeping up with the stitching. So it's a mystery stitch along. They kind of mix it all up, so you really don't have any idea. It's going to be half of a quote at the top and then ways to personalize that quote underneath. And the way they release the bits, you don't really have a good idea of what it's going to end up like. So I'm doing this one on Forgotten. It's a piece of Picture This Plus Aether. It's 16 count. It's called Opal. So a few years ago, before you could reliably get stitching supplies in Australia, I was, you know, ordering things from 123 Stitch periodically, and I'd add in a couple of pieces of fabric just to see what they were like smaller pieces. So this is Picture This Plus Opal. It's not opalescent, it's just brown, sort of mottled. And I'm just trying to use up some of my stash basically. So I thought this, and this is working out really nicely. These are the colours on some Ginger Gerald floss drops. Actually, there's a mix, so there's these ones and these ones. Now I'll pop a photo in of the first release. So in true Stitch style, bit cheeky, tits. Then the second week we filled in a little bit more, still have no idea. The third week is where I'm up to. And I really like the colour combination, but I'm not really sure what it's going to be. The whole piece is like not big at all, it's small. It's about 200 stitches a release, so it's very easy to keep up. The fourth release has come out today. I've been out and about today, so I haven't caught up with it at all yet. But I reckon I'll get this done this weekend. And then I think I'm not sure how many weeks. There's not, like, it's not a really long process. So yeah, that's my stitch long. Okay, now to the rest of my new starts for October. I'm just going to go in order. So Jo Belushi Stitches and I had already planned, and I showed this last time, but I'll just show it again for completeness, to start Teresa Kogut's SILS4U Quaker in October, first weekend in October, and we did. So I don't recall if I've worked on this since I showed it last video, possibly not, but I'll just share it again in case you didn't see the last one. So this is on Seraphim Fabrics in Bee's Knees. It's 40 count. It's absolutely beautiful, love it. And that's my start. I'm using SILS4U PR011, which is their black. And the variegated green from DMC 4045. There's only 2 colours in it. They're not, obviously, they're not the called for colours, but they're going to work just fine. And Angela Loves to Stitch on both Instagram and Flosstube is also stitching this one as well. So if you are interested, I'd highly recommend you go check out, firstly, Jo's Flosstube channel. Oh, is it the end of the year yet? Definitely go check out Jo's Flosstube channel, Belushi Stitches. She just posted in the last couple of days kind of progression shots. She's been working on a Heaven and Earth design pretty much every single day this year, and she's so close to getting it done. Absolutely awe-inspiring. So please go check out her channel and see that, and hopefully she'll also share some of the other stitching she's done this month soon as well, Jo. And also check out Angela Loves to Stitch. I'll pop both their channel links to their channels below. So that was supposed to be our like October start, and then somehow it kind of escalated, and that's fine. I'm all good with that. And we ended up doing we were going to do a start each weekend, the first 4 weekends in October. Oops. So the second weekend in October, just trying to remember which is which. Bear with me. Yeah, okay. Slight side note, I went to Spotlight and I found the very last pack of like fat quarter pack of Halloween fabric. I wish I'd gotten in earlier because there's some really fun ones. And I made some kind of project bags, but they're like project bags, not your typical project bag. They're actually like project pouches. So like this, they've got a flat bottom so you can sit them next to you. It was mainly to keep my threads like safe and tidy away from cats. So this was the first one that I made, and I think this is my favourite fabric. And you can just like fold the top over, and it sits on like next to you, and I've got threads in there, nice and safe. So that's the wrong project though. This was the second spooky start, so you got spooky fabric too. You can't keep your fabric nice and wrinkle free in these bags, but they are quite good, you know, for a little travel project. So that's the inside of this one. And that leads me to, so second spooky start was Lola Crow Cross Stitches Haunted Library Stitch Along. It's just finished. It's absolutely amazing, and I'm really glad that we decided to start this one. So a little late to the party, but that's okay. The good thing about being late is you can see other people's clever ideas and borrow them, adapt them. We have Deb Wilson joined us for this start too. Deb had already bought the pattern, I think, before I decided I wanted to do it, and I mentioned it to her, and she started it also that weekend. Definitely go and have a look at Deb's channel. Hopefully she'll have a new video out very soon too. She's got it on this amazing fabric, and she's done a lot more than me. It's a blue, oh, it's stunning. So, I can't work out which way's up. I think this must be up. I'm stitching mine on a 32 count even weave from Jay's X Stitch, and I think it's week T. I lost the label, so I'm not sure, but that's my start. Using the DMC, I have a long way to go. Just going to go in installment order, so sort of have the stairwell to do first. It looks like 4 uteri, complete with ovaries, but soon enough it won't look like that anymore. So that was number 2. Number 3. The third spooky start for the month was Tiny Modernists. All of the names are very similar. I keep getting tripped up on them. Halloween Crystal Ball. I had not seen this until Joe shared it with me. I don't know where I was. I presume it was a recent-ish stitch along, but I'm not sure. Just had never seen it. I made another pouch for this one, and I think it might be in the world's tiniest project bag. I adapted the pattern to make a smaller one, which is like this. So perfect for a little travel project, just with a drawstring pouch. Now this one is also on a piece of that Aether that I said I bought a few different types just to see. It's 18 count shale by Picture This Plus, and this is my start. Hoping that the crystal ball meets up. It's looking like it might. I think I put about 2 like stitchy sessions into each of these starts, so I haven't done too much. This one I'm using a mix of DMC and the called for threads. I thought a couple of the over-dyed threads, you know, if I could get them, really I should use, and they are, so they're both Weeks Dye Works. There's Moss, it's a really nicely variegated green, and Pumpkin. And I think the rest are DMC, yeah. So that was number 3. Number 4, oh yeah. It was Frosted Pumpkin's Halloween Wreath. Now this is a brand new stitch along. There's going to be 1 installment every month for 11 months, I think. And so yeah, there's only been 1 release so far. So if you're interested in doing this along with everyone else, get in. It's really fun. This is on an old piece of linen that I found in my stash that was perfect. It's by Colour Cascade Fabrics. It's called Silver Springs. It's 32 count linen. Just like a silvery colour, I guess, grey. I've made a start. And I really enjoyed stitching this one. There was something about this piece, I didn't want to put it down. That's my start. So obviously it's a haunted house. It's just, yeah, it's really nice. Joe started, I think, here, and it's a door. It's got stained glass window in it with a moon, and the colours are so pretty. So that's that one. Now this is charted in DMC, but also Cosmo, and actually I knew that my local quilt shop stored the whole Cosmo range. So for this one, I sort of splashed out and bought the Cosmo threads. They are more expensive than DMC, so it's not something I'm going to do all the time, but I just wanted to see what they like to stitch with, and so far so good, really nice. I can share the colours. So I'm interested to see, yeah, just the DMC versions and if there's any difference. But yeah, it's not the same price point as DMC, and there's absolutely nothing with DMC. I love DMC. But yeah, just wanted to give that a go. So that's in my favorite pouch. So that's 4. Oh yeah. Then Jo had started a very popular piece. Lots of people have either stitched this or are stitching it. It's Leela Studios Halloween Quaker. And I mean, I've seen it for so long and I really like it. And I thought, well, you know, if I'm starting Halloween things and I like that, I would like to stitch that one day. Why don't I just start it now? She only recently started hers and wanted to make a change, so we decided that last weekend in October was perfect. It was free. And yeah. Now Jo also saw Heather from the Crafty Stitches had kitted it up in a recent video, so we have Heather stitching this along with us too, which is great fun. It's great to meet new stitchy friends. Again, I'll pop the link to Heather's channel down below too. She films videos with her friend Steve, and they are hilarious and I love their accent. Now, I'm stitching this on, I think the called for fabric is Murky by Picture This Plus, and I decided to try it on, I think it goes this way. My start. This is a Fox and Rabbit fabric. Cannot get it to show the right colour. No, it looks grey through the camera, I think. It's actually green. I don't know how to make it make it green. Some black maybe? Nope. Anyway, it's green. It's called Eucalyptus. I don't know if they still dye this. I'm not sure. It's an older piece, and it's just beautiful. I knew the pattern was beautiful, but like, look at that. You just have to concentrate. I've already had to frog a little bit. It's so pretty. Love it. So that was my fifth spooky start for October, and last, thankfully, no more. That's plenty to keep me going. I really enjoyed working on all of those, and I think I'll just keep chipping away at them. I don't think any of us are in a particular rush, as far as I'm aware, to finish anything. So there'll probably be, you know, projects for a while to come yet. Whew. So that was all my stitching for October. I did about 23,000 stitches or something like that, which is a pretty good month for me. Yeah, crazy month. So that's all my stitches. I have a little bit of haul and plans now, and I have a little friend to visit. Come to say hello. Off you go. Right. What should I start with? I'll start with this one. Now, hopefully I don't need to get it out of the plastic. I can't remember where I saw this, if it was Instagram or YouTube. I don't recall. It's not a new kit, but it was the first time I'd seen it. RTO's Red Mermaid. Just stunning. It's on navy Aether. I think I'm just going to stitch it on the fabric it came with. There's all the floss. And I mentioned this to a few friends because I don't know where I've been to have missed this. And it was really funny. My friends either had it already in their stash, not yet started, or immediately went out and bought it. So I think she'll be making an appearance maybe next year. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then the other thing, I've kitted this up over the last month or two. I don't think I mentioned it last time. Going to stitch Wilbur by Teresa Kogut, photoing, with some friends. I have finished, he's all ready to be started. I think some of them would have liked to have already started, but I kind of was like, I've got too many starts already in October, so I was trying to delay them. I found that the movie Babe was released in the cinemas here in Australia back in, I think it was 1995, but it was like in December. So I thought, well, that's a good date to start. Purely so I could delay the October start, really. Again, I've got a mix of thread drops, but these are the colors, and it's interesting because it's kind of, in my mind, it's a bit of a like a full coverage pig. He's all completely stitched, and it's a mix of DMC and overdyed threads. There was one that I couldn't get, so I've subbed in something else. I think it will work fine. And just to be a bit different, I am going to stitch this on. Are you ready? This amazing opalescent Aether from Esther the Danish Stitcher. So I think he's going to look fabulous on this. He's only small. I've counted it out. You can see the pins. So he's only this big. He's only this big. So looking forward to this in December sometime, I think, unless anyone talks me into starting it sooner. Anything's possible. I also have some Christmas stitching to do. It's that kind of time of year. So I probably won't share that anytime soon, but I do need to get started. I've kind of been procrastinating. I'm not sure what else I'm going to stitch in November. Like I said, Christmas stitching. Probably try to keep up with Supernatural and Under the Sea. I don't know what else. I'm not sure. So I think that's everything from me today. Thank you again for watching, and I'd love it if you took the time to let me know where you're watching from. I'm very curious to find out sort of the far-flung places everyone is watching from. That would be amazing. And I think that's everything. So we'll see you again in another month, I guess. See ya.